Hey everyone, my name is Shafali and I am back again with another video. And in today's video, we are going to see how are you going to write your experiments. This is a boards experiment for organic compounds. Okay, and this is going to be a very important and useful video for class 12th students. So if you're a student of class 12, this is going to be really helpful for you. Do watch the video till the end and also share it with your friends and family who are in need of one such video. ठीक है तो शुरू करते हैं the first thing is we are going to see today that how are you going to write your organic compound testing. You have your experiment. You're going to make three tables: experiment, observation, inference. Okay, inference means what the conclusion you took out of it. Observation, what did you saw when you performed the experiment, and experiment is what you are going to perform in your lab. Okay, so the first testing is physical testing. See, when you get an organic sample, okay, when you get an organic sample, let's say you have been given four organic samples. These are the most common four organic samples which come in your exam. This is these are your test tubes. This is sample A, this is sample B, sample C, and sample D. So in sample A, you have a colorless liquid. Same in sample B also, C also, and D also. You have to identify that what organic compound does these samples contain. Like for example, if I'm going to perform a test for A, let's suppose I perform a test for alcohol for A as alcoholic test, which is ester test, and it gives me positive test. That means that A is what? A is your alcohol. Okay, so how are you going to detect, how are you going to go about these tests when you get these sample? Suppose you got sample A in your exam. What is the first thing you are going to do? You are going to take a blue litmus paper. Blue litmus paper. Okay. Next is you're going to dip this blue litmus paper in this organic sample, and if this blue litmus paper turns red, if it turns red, if it turns red, that means it could be carboxylic acid. It could be carboxylic acid. Now listen to me very carefully. When I say it could be carboxylic acid, does that mean only carboxylic acid can turn blue litmus red? क्या हमें ये पता चला यहाँ से? Is that the only case that अगर हम blue litmus B, C, D में डालेंगे, it won't turn red? Well, if the organic compound that has been given to you is not phenol, okay, then yes, B, C, D won't turn blue litmus red. क्योंकि हमने कौन कौन से सैंपल लिए हैं पहले तो? We have taken four sample. One is alcohol, one is aldehyde, one is ketone, and carboxylic acid. If your teacher has given you only four samples, then only carboxylic acid is the one which is going to turn blue litmus red. Okay, does that means that alcohol is not acidic in nature? Because we study that alcohol is a weak acid. It is a weak acid. Once it was asked in exam also for both that what type of nature do alcohol have? Alcohol has acidic nature. Okay, so it is a weak acid, but it is weaker than water, bete. It is weaker than water. It do not have the capacity to turn blue litmus red. That's why carboxylic acid is way stronger in comparison to alcohol, and that is the reason it turns blue litmus red. Okay, so we have a colorless solution here, B, C, D. Phenol is, again, as I'm telling you, phenol again turns blue litmus red. So if phenol is not given, then for sure it is carboxylic acid which turns blue litmus red. And over here we have only taken four samples, A, B, C, D, which are alcohol, aldehyde, ketones, carboxylic acid. So once blue litmus red हो जाए, that means ये तो carboxylic acid है. फिर भी confirm करने के लिए which test you can perform? You can perform NaHCO3 test, that is sodium bicarbonate test. What will happen when you add sodium bicarbonate to the sample? A effervescence of carbon dioxide will be released. This is a very important test. If you do not have sodium bicarbonate in your lab, no worries, you can go with sodium carbonate. It gives you the same effervescence of carbon dioxide. So this test is done. Okay, we have concluded that if in a sample the blue litmus turns red, do remember it should not be containing phenol. Then the given sample should not be containing phenol, otherwise phenol also turns blue litmus red. Okay, so if it is only alcohol, aldehyde, ketone and carboxylic acid and one turns blue litmus red, this is what this show that this could be carboxylic acid. You can go for the CT, which is the confirmatory test, by putting NaCO3 or Na2CO3 in the sample and carbon dioxide will be released. Next is BCD. What is this BCD? Okay, B is over here. Again, this is a colorless liquid. In this colorless liquid, suppose you have been given B. So what is the first thing you are going to do? You are going to dip a blue litmus paper into it. Okay, now if it doesn't turn red, if it doesn't turn red, that means it is not carboxylic acid. If it is not carboxylic acid, what are you going to do? Then do perform 2,4 DNP testing. What does 2,4 DNP testing stands for, or what does 2,4 DNP testing used for? The 2,4 DNP testing is used to determine the presence of carbonyl group. If you have carbonyl group present in this sample, it will be giving you orange, red or yellow PPT, any form of PPT. Okay, any form of PPT of this color, that confirms it is a carbonyl group. If it does not give you any PPT, that confirms it is not a carbonyl group. And where do you see this type of group? In aldehyde and ketone. Let's say that 2,4 DNP does not give any PPT when dissolved in B. That means it is not a carbonyl containing group. That means it is alcohol then. What else are you left with? Alcohol. For alcohol, you can perform ester test. Ester test में क्या करते हैं? You are going to take some organic compound, organic sample. To that, add glacial acetic acid. Glacial acetic acid is the pure form of acetic acid, and 2 to 3 drops of H2SO4. Then smell it. You are going to feel the fruity smell. Sometimes what happens is the smell becomes very strong. It becomes like marker. इन दैट केस अगर आपको मार्कर जैसी स्मेल मिल रही है, हो सकता है आपने कंसंट्रेशन जो है ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड का और एसिटिक एसिड का ज़्यादा रख दिया है. इन दैट केस नो वरीज, एक बीकर में थोड़ा सा पानी लेके उस पर वो सैंपल डाल दीजिएगा एंड देन स्मेल इट. स्मेल जो होगी थोड़ा सा डाइल्यूटेड हो जाएगी और फ्रूटी आएगी. ओके, अगर कभी स्टूडेंट्स आपसे ऐसा बोलें कि ऐसा हो रहा है कि ये तो मार्कर लाइक स्मेल है या बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग स्मेल है, दिस इज नॉट फ्रूटी, देन यू कैन गो फॉर दैट. ओके, let's move forward. Now we are left with two samples C and D. We have already detected A, which was coming out to be carboxylic acid. We have detected B, which was coming out to be alcohol. Now, suppose again what we are going to do with C and D. We are going to add 2,4 DNP to both of it. And now, because we are left with ketone and aldehyde only, that means they are going to give you PPT. Once the PPT is obtained, take a fresh sample of C and D and start performing the ketone and aldehyde test. Let's suppose you got C and you performed the DNP test, which was positive. Then you took again the sample of the C and started performing Felling test. What is Felling test? Felling test is the test used for aldehydes. There are two very famous tests for aldehydes. One is Tollens reagent test, another one is Felling test. What is Felling test? Felling test is when you add Felling A plus Felling B in C. What is Felling A and Felling B? Felling A is copper sulfate. Felling B is Rochelle salt of NaOH. Okay, when you add these two compounds and added to the solution, to the given sample. A solution has will be made. Heat the solution in water bath, and you will get a brisk red precipitate. Sometimes what happens is, if in your lab there is no presence of this apparatus which is called water bath, no worries, थोड़ा सा पानी हीट करके बॉईल कर लेना, हीट मत करना, बॉईल करके बॉइलिंग ट्यूब पे उसके अंदर अपना टेस्ट ट्यूब रख देना. Okay, keep it for some time and you are going to see positive result for aldehyde. Next is last, D. Suppose the sample D has been given to you, which gives 2,4 DNP testing positive. What are you going to do here? You are going to add 2 comma 4, you are going to have add sodium nitroprusside. What is sodium nitroprusside? That is Na2FeCN whole 5 NO. This is sodium nitroprusside, very important formula for sodium nitroprusside. This gives, when you add sodium nitroprusside to this sample with few drops of NaOH, what will you see? You will see a red coloration. Do remember, it is a blood red coloration with no precipitate formation. Okay, so now here are the tests which has been written for you. Okay, this is the test for alcohol. You also have to write reaction involved. In exam also, examiner ask you for reaction involved. The next is Felling test and tolerance test. In exam, just write one test. Either you go for Felling or tolerance. Okay. This is the reaction involved. Next is to identify the organic compound, and this is carboxylic acid. Okay. This is your carboxylic acid. And finally comes your ketone, which is sodium nitroprusside testing. I hope the video was helpful for you. If it was, do consider subscribing and also share it with your friends and family who are in need of one such video. Do let me know which video on what topic you want. I'll try my best to bring it. Okay. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. All the very best.